So I hope all practical was done successfully. Any issues you were facing?
No, sir, successfully done.
No. Now moving to the next topic for today, that is RDS. So what exactly we are going to do in this RDS? So RDS is basically a relational database. Okay, let us see the database first. So RDS is a relational database service where we can easily set up, operate, and scale a relational database in AWS cloud. So RDS is the way to store structured data, queryable, indexable data inside the cloud. So there are two type of data: structured data, unstructured data. So generally the files which we create and store, that is unstructured data, and the structured data where we can fetch any information through the queries, that is structured data. So unstructured data are stored in either EBS or S3, whereas structured data is stored in the database like Redshift, RDS, DynamoDB in SQL style. Okay, so this is also known as database as a service. Okay, so we can choose any database engine because you cannot put directly like a file how we upload in S3 bucket or in the EBS in the database. We need to select any engine. So we can have Postgres, MySQL, Oracle, Microsoft SQL, MariaDB, or Amazon Aurora. Any of this engine we can use for this. Also, we can resize anytime if required. And auto backup is enabled by default. Okay, so we also have a solution for manual database snapshot, and we can store it to S3. Then we can also encrypt the RDS, and the database engine can also have its own encryption mechanism to secure the data. So this is what RDS is. Next, let me check if I have written for key auto screen load balances. This one is done. Now it remains CloudFront, SNS, and CloudWatch. Now the next is CloudFront. So what exactly is a CloudFront? So CloudFront is what? It is a service in AWS using which we can improve the performance of web application service or web services. So how it is going to improve? So generally what happens, suppose we are in Bangalore and our server is in Delhi, or our data center is in Delhi. We have hosted in Delhi, or just imagine we have hosted in Mumbai uh, region, and there is the database. So anyone from any part of India, if they are going to access our service, or from any part of the world, their request will go to Mumbai data center. So based on the distance, it will take time. And another things, all the user from that area, if they are trying to access our service, for all the user one by one or at the same time, the request will go to the Mumbai server. Okay, so it will take time. So what CloudFront is going to do, for the first user from that specific area, okay, we need to create a CloudFront just like a caching server. Okay, so that caching server will be in the nearest location. Okay, and when the user is going to access anything, they will access via the CloudFront. So they will send request to the CloudFront, and CloudFront will take the request on behalf of user to the server or to the data center, and it will fetch the response from the server and keep one copy, and then give response to client. Now the next time when the same client is, when the another client is, or same client is requesting for the same data, the request will not be forwarded to the data center, so it will be given locally. Okay, just for example, we have the YouTubes. So you will see YouTube, Facebook, Google, it works very fast even you have the slow internet connection. How does it works? Because in every internet service provider office, okay, state offices, they have their data center. In that data center they have the caching server of Facebook, Google, YouTube, like this. So whatever we are accessing, first time only our request goes to the server, and when the response comes from there, it is stored on those caching server. So next time onwards, if any user is trying to access the same service or same video, the video is served from the local. Okay, it's not forwarded to the data center. That is how it improves the performance. Okay, so while we access content from far region, it may take some time. So CloudFront will cache the data in the nearest location and made available to user to access faster. Also, it speeds up the content distribution. It always works on AWS edge location. Okay, we have a region, then availability zone, then edge location. Edge location means from where the service is delivered, AWS service is delivered. It's a content delivery network and provide HTTPS service by default. Next is SNS, simple notification service. So what we can achieve with this AWS SNS, we can get a notification for any AWS resource where we have configured SNS. So it will send you message or notification either using SMS to all the countries. So it can use the mobile push on Apple and Android and other platforms, or by sending email. Okay. So in auto scaling, we have seen how it is going to send the notifications. Another is CloudWatch. So CloudWatch is used to monitor. Okay. So what it monitor? The operational data in the forms of logs, metrics, events. Okay, and gives the view the utilization of the AWS resource, application, and the service which runs on AWS. Okay. So by default, basic metrics are monitored every 5 minutes. Metrics means the parameters like CPU, memory, network uses, and detailed monitor is chargeable. Okay, and the charge they will do per minute. Okay. So if anyone is going to ask you what exactly is a CloudFront, then you can say it is a caching service or content delivery network caching service, okay, which improves the performance of web application. SNS, a notification service through which we can get notification of AWS services or CloudWatch uh, events, and we can get notification either using SMS or email. And CloudWatch is like a monitoring service in cloud. Okay, so now we have to start with the RDS. Any question anyone have?
No, sir.
Okay, fine. So for the SNS and CloudWatch monitoring, we have already configured the practical in auto scaling. Okay, so once again, just I'll show you what exactly it was. If you remember, in this SNS, we had created the topic, like the notification will come with which name, okay, topic name, display name. After that, just create the topic, and the next was we have created subscription. So in the subscription, we have selected the topic name, and then here it is asking for which service. So generally using email, then we have given the email, and then we have configured on email address. Coming to the next, which was our CloudWatch. We have done for this alarm. We have created alarms, okay, and associated with any of the service. Here is the logs. So here we can get the logs. Okay, see. So for all the events, we had the logs. Okay. So once again, we will see the logs, okay, when we are going to see the Lambda function. Now for this RDS, what we need to do exactly? For RDS, we have to create a Linux machine. So first we will go in the database RDS, create database. we'll go standard or easy. We'll go with the easy option. Okay, and here we have MySQL. We'll select as an engine. Okay, then which one we will use? Production, development or test, or free tier. Okay, so based on that it will get charged. So if you see for the production, they are giving 4 CPU, 32 GB of RAM, 500 GB of the space. It is of 100 GB, it is of 20 GB. So these all are just based on your requirement. They will give the instance size of the database. So we will select here free tier. Okay, here it will be the database identifier, name of your database. So I'm going to give Tanveer DP, name, username admin, password you want to have auto generated or you want to define your own password. I want to define my own password. Okay, it cannot contain at the rate. And after that just click on create database. So I've created database first because it takes time to make the database ready for use. Okay, so you will see the status creating, then it will take backup. It is saying there are some ads on, you can use proxy, cache cluster. I don't need this all. Let us come to the EC2, create one Linux machine. In this Linux machine we have a specific operating system required. Okay, Linux 100. We'll select the Amazon Linux, but in this Amazon Linux we have to select the category, this one, Amazon Linux 2 AMI HVM. Okay, this one. Why this one? Because here we have the feature to install MySQL. Then instance type will be same. Now create a new key pair. Create key pair. Here we will select the existing. We can create new also, but why I'm selecting, because a lot of things are allowed there. Okay, and now I will launch the instance. Meanwhile, if you see, the database status is creating, then it will start taking backup. So that's why it's better always you create first database, then create your instance, and parallelly we'll do it. So now meanwhile let us access and install. Still it is also in the pending state, running state. yum install mysql -y. We don't need to use asterisk, only mysql. Okay. So this MariaDB feature has to be installed. So now you see configuring a stage. So this package, if you use this asterisk along with this MySQL, then it will not install MariaDB, to install something else. Now meanwhile, it is creating. I'll go to the security group. Okay. In the security group, I have to allow some of the protocol RDS. Here is the MySQL Aurora. So if you don't allow this protocol, you will not be able to connect with the database. Okay. Now let us see. So now it is in the state of backing up. So now we can connect. Click on database. Okay, here we have connectivity and security. So we have to just copy the endpoint. Okay, and then we have to use command. MySQL space -q or something is the command. Just a minute. Ct. Let me see what exactly was the command. Not there. Not here. Command was -h, -u, and -p. So -h, paste your database, then -u, username admin, -p will be the password. Now you can see we are in the SQL. Okay. So what you want to do, accordingly you can do here. Okay. So our job is still here. After this, those who knows the SQL can try, can store the database, create the table and all. Okay. If the database is not connected successfully, then there is a error. Any question till here?
No, sir.
Now let us quit. Now what are the things we have done? We have to remove it. To remove, first of all, I am going to delete the instance. terminated. Dashboard, fresh. We want to keep here. When you are going to delete the database, it will ask you to create final snapshot. So uncheck it because uh, if you are not going to uncheck dissolve, then what will happen? It will keep one snapshot in your S3 and you will get the bill regularly added for that. Okay. So it happened with me. Later I came to know very long back when I contacted AWS support. So here you have to check mark. I acknowledge that upon instance deletion, automatic backup including a snapshot, point and recovery will not longer be available. Okay. Delete me. Delete. In the real scenario, we will take the snapshot of the backup before deleting or anything. But here it's not required. Is deleting. Meanwhile, we can verify for the snapshot. Do we have any snapshot here? No. System snapshot. You can see it is there. No? Okay. So once it is deleted, we have to cross verify. If it is there, we have to delete manually. Okay. Still it is deleting. Okay. So meanwhile, we can move for the cloud front. So how we can configure the cloud front? Okay. So let us host one website in S3 bucket first. Create bucket. Purpose. create bucket. Okay. Now we'll upload files in this. Upload. Okay. Now we will go in uh, this bucket, properties, scroll down, edit, table, save the changes. Okay. Now we have to go for CloudFront. Still deleting. So in this CloudFront, create CloudFront distribution. Origin domain. So here you see S3 bucket it is showing now. So we can create a CloudFront for Elastic Load Balancer. We have the load balancer URL for API gateway and for this S3. Use this as a website. Recommend S3 website endpoint rather than bucket endpoint. Use website endpoint. Now here you will see it is for HTTP. Yes. Then add header. No need. Cache behavior. So this is the cache. So by default, compress object automatically. Yes. Viewer protocol policy HTTP, HTTPS or only HTTPS? Both. What are the HTTP method allowed? Get, head. So whenever we access any web page, by default it will be get. Okay. Do you want to restrict viewer access? No. Okay. Caching policy, what you want? And origin request policy. Yes, we need. Okay. So caching optimized, uncompressed, disabled. We don't want to cache. Yes, we want to cache to improve the performance. Okay. Then rest all options are optional. You can define association that if your request cloud function lambda edge, let accordingly you can define a lot of functions and behavior. So if user is requesting for this web page, then what should happen like this. We can also enable the WAF for the protection, web application firewall for the protection of this, but as of now I'm not going to use. You want to have it for all edge location for the best performance, only for this or only for this specific locations. So use all edge locations for the best performance. You want to have a short name like a canonical name, then you can add accordingly. Custom domain name that you use in URL for the file served by the distribution, you can add it here, but later we can connect and configure the same. If you are using HTTPS, then we need to take the server certificate here. Okay, supported version of HTTP. So by default, HTTP 1, 1.1 are supported by default. And nowadays we have HTTP version 2 also. So we need to allow it. Do you want the logs? Okay, viewer request delivered to this. If you want to have the logs, then again you have to select the bucket where the logs will get stored. Okay. So in real scenario, yes, we need to enable this function. Okay. IP version 6 you want to enable or disable and then click on create the distribution. So now when the distribution is created, okay, you see the status deploying. So let it complete the uh, deployment. You see now the database has been deleted. We'll check for the snapshot. So as of now, manual snapshot is not there. System snapshot is there. So we need to select it. Action, delete the snapshot. Okay. Then shared with me, backup. These are the public snapshot. Okay. Backup service. We don't have any here. So no automatic backup, replicated, no retained, no. Any reserved instance it is showing, no. So now things are good. So we can go to the dashboard. Accordingly, we can verify. So go inside, action, delete snapshot, active database. Okay, so let us refresh. So it is not updated about the database has been deleted. Okay, maybe it will go automatically because I've already deleted and no automated backups are there or retained backups. Okay, you see. Okay. So now in the CloudFront, let us see how much it's deployed on all. So go to the distributions. Okay, so now the distribution is enabled, status is deploying. So let it complete the status of deployment, then we will check. So let it deploy, then we'll access and check. So we have completed this troubleshooting we have done along with this practicals. So RDS now it remains root 53 only here and lambda. Rest all we have completed. So Monday we will have offline class. Okay. So be there in the classroom. Now the status, I think deployment is completed, is showing in the production. Now we go in this and verify the path. So this is the domain name. You have to copy incognito window, paste it, open it. See, we are able to access the website. Okay, so only the thing is, instead of this name, we have to create a short name that we are going to see on Monday with root 53. Okay, so the same website is hosted here, but it's been accessed via CloudFront. So next time onwards, if someone is trying to access this website, they will be able to access via CloudFront, and CloudFront will have one cache of this page. Okay, we can also define the error page. Okay, we can see what exactly is the origin. We can enable WAF for the security. So do you have any question? First we have to disable the CloudFront and then we can delete it. So here you see again it is the status to change. Once it is changed, then we can delete it. Meanwhile, I'll delete the bucket. Empty the bucket. So Tuesday will be our last class for this AWS, and next Saturday, Sunday, any of the day that will be announced accordingly. We will have the mock interview and test for this batch. So be ready for that.
Voice is not audible. Can you repeat?
Come again.
Your voice is not properly audible. Can you repeat?
I am saying that Tuesday will be your last class because two topics are remaining, Route 53 and Lambda. So Monday Route 53, Tuesday Lambda we will do, and after this we will have the mock interview and test on next Saturday, Sunday, any of the day that will decide on Tuesday.
Okay, thank you.
So if you have anything to ask that you go through in this weekend, revise all the topics which have been taught till now, and then we can discuss on Monday for the same. Okay. And after this AWS, as you have to join this, what, what is the next after this?
DevOps.
DevOps. So you can check on the reception for the DevOps class also. And again, I repeat that for the theoretical topics for your interview, the book which I have shared from there, start preparing, revising, and plus from the AWS website. And then, if you find any difficulties, you can reach out to me. So once this stage changes, then I have to delete this distribution. So you can see it is still in the deploying, so it is not giving the option to deploy. So it will take time, but once it is done, then make sure it's deleted. Okay, else it will be chargeable.